It's been almost 3 months since a student opened fire at Abundant Life Christian School, killing a classmate and teacher and then taking her own life. 6 other students were injured, 2 critically. Tonight, and only on 15 News, Lee Mills talks with the family of one of those survivors.
14-year-old River Clardy endured the unimaginable. Shot multiple times, he was clinging to life when first responders rushed him to the hospital on that December day.
Dear God, thank you for this food.
The little things.
Amen.
Like a family dinner.
Who wants in?
I would.
Whoever wants in.
Have taken on new meaning for the Clardy family.
We're going for my birthday?
What do you want to do?
Moments they weren't sure they'd ever have again.
This school is, as there is a report of a school shooting. So
after December 16th.
We know that 3 people are dead, 6 other people were injured.
Just protecting my kids in my class. That was the first thing I thought of.
Christina Clardy is a first-year teacher at Abundant Life Christian School. And 3 of her children, 2 freshmen and a senior, are students there.
I pretty quickly saw my 2 daughters, and they were questioning me about where their brother was. Some people were missing.
2 students are now in critical condition.
The police come and confirm that he has been brought to the hospital.
So I'm in this waiting room.
Christina's husband, Brett, rushed to the hospital.
I quickly say, all right, before my family comes in, could you just tell me, is my son alive?
When River came through the doors of the emergency room, he was not awake. He had a breathing tube in. The paramedics and EMTs were breathing for him. And across his chest, in black magic marker, was his first name.
Dr. Adam Brinkman is the head of pediatric trauma at American Family Children's Hospital.
River was losing a lot of blood from injuries to his neck. He was very close to dying.
River was shot multiple times. 1 bullet hit his carotid artery. Another went through the back of his throat.
Vitals were stable, was all we were latching onto at the moment with him being in surgery.
There was prayer happening pretty frequently.
His family saw him for the first time late that first night.
I didn't take a single picture until I didn't want to remember some of those things.
He did not look like himself in a lot of ways. Very swollen, and he was, that was probably the hardest thing for me, was just seeing him.
River needed 5 surgeries in those first few days and was in the ICU with a breathing tube for almost 2 weeks.
When he was little, we used to squeeze 3 times to mean I love you, so he did it to us, and we knew, okay, he's in there.
And it would end up being probably a little more than a week before I actually convinced myself I think he's probably going to pull through.
As his injuries resolved and he didn't need any more surgeries, then it was time to start to allow him to wake up.
Were you there when he started to wake up?
I was. I stopped in the doorway and he turned towards me. He heard somebody come in the room and I said, "River." And River said, "Good morning." Hearing his voice and seeing his eyes and realizing everything that he had just gone through, and a week later, he's saying good morning to me. There was no better feeling.
Over the next month, River had to relearn many things.
1 step at a time.
Including how to eat and walk.
Good.
Each step,
Incredible.
a signal of progress.
All of his nurses and techs and physical and occupational therapists and speech therapists, and everybody was rooting for River.
We believe that God is a huge part of his healing. Through natural means, like through the body healing itself, and through some things that, to this day aren't explainable to us.
After 46 days, River went home with a hero send-off.
He walked down this hallway, and every single person in that picture in some way contributed to his care. Every single one of them.
In fact, 263 people had a role in River's recovery.
You know, I never saw him cry any time we were there until he hugged some of his doctors goodbye.
I didn't ever think I would see him go home. So just watching him walk down the hallway with his family was the second best feeling for me. Him saying good morning was the first.
Let's see, eeny, meeny, miny, rats.
Back at home,
And then skip.
they've picked up where they left off.
Choose a color, any color.
They focus on their blessings.
I think it's very easy to find all the ugly things that happened these last few weeks.
They were painful, they were ugly, they were hard.
But there's so many beautiful things if you just look for them.
Oh, hold on. Where'd my card go?
It's important to give thanks, you know, for the good in our lives. And to recognize, you know, the good around us.
And appreciation for the little things.
We're so thrilled for normal days.
Yeah.
Which aren't little anymore.
I do have moments where I'm like, I can't believe he's alive, you know, and I'm just really grateful. Your turn now. Sweet.
River's story is unlike any I've had the privilege of sharing in my career. I do want you to know he was there for the interview, sitting right next to me actually, but we wanted to respect the family's wishes not to ask him on camera about his memories of that day.
That's the other part, right? The physical healing's one thing, but the mental healing is going to take a very long time.
And as much as he wants to be just like he was before,
Yeah.
you're never the same after something like that. In fact, he is still going to the hospital for daily visits, but really good news, the number of appointments continues to decline. And the family also really wanted to thank the first responders who rushed in and kept him alive all the way to the hospital.
Yeah, that's a miracle there. To hear what he was like, his condition when he first got in, not knowing if he was going to live, to a week later saying good morning, to walking out of that hospital. It's unbelievable.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah. Lee, thank you.